How are your thoughts? Thoughts and mindset. That was the overall topic of this week's Thumos community, and it'll be the topic again next week. I want to spend just a couple of minutes with you here to talk about the takeaways that we got, really focused on thoughts, and I'll come back to mindset next week. All right, so before the meetings, I watched and sent out to the Thumos community a video by a guy called Ed Milet, and I'll link I'll put a link in the description below so you can go check that out. It's very good. All right, so here are some of the stats that Ed threw out in this video that also came up in the calls. Did you know that the average man has about 75,000 thoughts per day? How in the world someone came up with that number, I will never know. But let's just say it's half that. We'll call it 40,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts. Well, here's what's interesting. 91% of those thoughts are repetitive. They're the same thoughts over and over. They may be packaged in a different way, a different format, but essentially they're the same thoughts. So according to Ed, the difference is in the 9%. So thoughts are powerful. We are obsessive creatures. If you're not obsessing, if you're not compulsing or continuously thinking thoughts, then you're in a whole different place from a spirituality standpoint. You've evidently controlled your mind and you're in the present moment all the time. And by the way, I don't know that I've ever met or spent time with someone that's in that place. Point being, if you're going to have compulsive or repeating thoughts, you're going to be obsessive. Of course, we don't want to be, but if we are going to be, it is what it is. Why not obsess or compulse or be repetitive around what we want in life? More achievement, perhaps, more love, more success, getting clear on the destination where we're going, like in the form of a vision. Perhaps some people use vision boards. I know I do. I love it. The bottom line is the difference is in the 9%. Focus on that 9%. Focus on changing the thoughts that are not serving you. And by the way, here's the actionable. It starts with taking inventory. I know a lot of you at a place where you want to capture your thoughts and change those thoughts and replace them. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. Go do that. But it starts with awareness. So the action is take inventory of your thoughts. Write down the top 1, 2, or 3, no more. Honestly, just starting with one, taking inventory, can change your life. Because once you are aware of that thought that continues to replay, whether it's around something that's disappointing you or irritating you or making you angry or fearful, if you identify that thought, that first step being awareness, that is a huge step in the right direction. You can take the next step at some point around capturing and replacing that thought with something positive. But it starts with identifying, it starts with awareness. Your obsessions become your possessions. Your thoughts determine your habits, which ultimately determine your destiny. If you're going to have the thoughts, why not make them positive? Why not make them from a place of strength, love, light? Why not make them in a direction that you want to go? Where do you want to live? What do you want to be doing? Who do you want to be doing it with? What does a perfect 10 life look like for you? You can't have a 10, you're never going to have a perfect 10 every day, but man, what if you had a day filled with 8s and 9s and 10s? And what if the struggles that you had, the challenges, you realize that those are all about growth? That's God's plan for us, whether we like it or not. The path of discomfort, the path of tension, of challenge, that's how we grow. That's how we reach our destiny. It's not an easy path by any means. So my friends, how are your thoughts? I'll tell you where I am. I'm not where I want to be. I have ongoing thoughts about things that I don't necessarily want to think about, things that do not serve me well, things that bring me below the line. They're not aligned with love, light, strength. They're not aligned with me helping other men and using my superpowers, my God-given gifts and talents. In fact, they pull me off that. They pull me out of mission and they bring me down. So what I did 2 days ago is I sat down and I took an inventory. And to be honest with you, I started with one thought. Here's the one thought that comes up every day, multiple times, probably more than I ever realized. And I've got awareness around it. The next step for me is I will go and I will replace that thought with something that serves me and serves others well. So my friends, those are the key insights around thoughts, how important they are, how they create our habits, and ultimately our destiny. Consider taking inventory of your thoughts. List down the 1, 2, or 3 that do not serve you. Just sit in a place of awareness. Sit in that, because at some point you'll be ready to go capture that thought and replace it with something that serves you well. Hope that helps. I'm Jody Licatino, founder of Thumos USA. We're coaching and mentoring. We do weekends. We have Zoom calls for men in the form of Inner Circle. We help men level up life. We help men win again, and we're real good at it. So please like, subscribe by hitting the button below. Hit that bell button to make sure that you continue to get notified, and we'll keep the content coming. Take care.